Good day, ladies and gentlemen. We, Professor Dr. Muhammad Zilal Hamzah, Professor Dr. Elinora Sofilda, and myself, Dr. Edi Setiawan, would like to express our gratitude to the Ontario International Development Agency for the opportunity to contribute to the 21st International Conference on Sustainable Development in 2025. We endeavor to leverage this occasion to present the findings of our study on determining factors of successful commercial banks in implementing sustainable finance policy in Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, there are several reasons that drive this research. First, the negative impact of environmental destruction has become increasingly evident over the past 10 years. It has even emerged as one of the primary systemic risks. This is supported by a survey result conducted by the World Economic Forum over the last 5 years. For Indonesia, the environmental risks are also high, especially in the event of global warming, which affects, among other things, the rising sea levels that could potentially submerge several small islands. For your information, we have more than 16,000 islands. Other threats, including tropical forest fires and flooding due to extreme weather. Recognizing the high environmental risk, Indonesia ratified the Paris Agreement on Climate Change and the Sustainable Development Goals in 2015. One important aspect and similarity of these two global commitments is the encouragement for the private sector to actively participate in providing funding sources. The aims to reduce the limitation of public or government fundings. To support the commitment of the Indonesia government, the Financial Services Authority, OJK, issued a policy in 2015 outlined in the Sustainable Finance Development Roadmap for 2015 to 2030. This is a medium-long-term policy. The Sustainable Finance Policy aims to enhance the participation of financial service institutions in providing funds related to climate change as well as achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. This policy was followed by the issuance of several regulations binding financial service institutions, including banking, non-banking financial institutions, and the capital market. Recognizing the sustainable finance is a new concept and that the financial services industry required time to adopt it. The OJK has established a priority scale with the bank as a financial institution that will first adopt this policy. In addition, the OJK has also determined that large-scale banks are the first to be mandated to adopt it, followed subsequently by medium and small-scale banks. Ladies and gentlemen, sustainable finance policy are expected to change many business processes of financial services institutions in the future. Therefore, the Financial Services Authority, OJK, need to ensure that financial services institutions understand, accept positively, and implement them effectively. Delays in responding to the problem at the beginning will have the potential that policy does not reach its goal or if it achieved, but at a great cost. Several previous studies indicate that the greatest failure of the policy occurs during its implementation. SERMA 2013 calculated that the biggest policy failure is implementation, namely 60%, while planning 20% and the remaining 20%. Furthermore, both 2018 regarding adoption green banking in Bangladesh denote policy green banking made by Central Bank of Bangladesh has positive influence on the level of disclosure green banking. Ladies and gentlemen, this study aims to determine the effectiveness of implementation sustainable finance policy, especially in the initial phase of implementation. In this regard, there are 5 research questions to be examined. First, does the bank's perception of sustainable finance policy influence the bank's attitude regarding this policy? Second, does the bank's attitude regarding sustainable finance policy influence the bank actions as expected by the OJK as policymakers? Third, does bank size classification moderate the positive influence of perception on the implementation of sustainable finance policy on attitude related to the implementation of sustainable finance policy? Fourth, does bank size classification moderates the positive influence of attitudes towards implementation of sustainable finance policy on actions related to implement of sustainable finance policy? And the last, what kind of bank's perception regarding the determining factors for bank success in implementation of finance, including aspect of incentives requested by bank? Previous research have focused more on evaluating policies based on result or performance of financial institution instead of analyzing the initial implementation period so that they are predictive. In addition, it is also to test whether the addition of bank size variables moderate understanding of attitude toward action taken by the banks. It is important to note that the scope of this research is confined to commercial banks and coincides with the initial implementation of the sustainable finance policy. The prevailing argument in the academic literature is that commercial banks are the predominant financial services entities in Indonesia. It is imperative that comprehend the condition that prevailed at the inception of the period in the order to forecast the efficacy of the policy and to furnish regulators with the opportunity to implement necessary correction in the event that deviations from the target are identified. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to develop a more profound comprehension of the subject under investigations, a series of literature reviews were conducted, encompassing the emergency of sustainable finance policy as a global governance framework. The implementation of policy is primary factor that can impede the successful execution of the policy. Additionally, it was determined that effective communication is a pivotal element in the execution of policy. Meanwhile, communication is defined as a process of delivering message, in this case, from policymaker to policy recipients, namely commercial banks. These recipients that respond with their perceptions, which subsequently shape their attitudes and drive subsequent action. The implementation of policy can also be executed in a top-down, bottom-up, or a combination of both manner. The result of Sustainable Banking Network study demonstrate that the policy encompasses 3 distinct stages. First, the preparation stage, the implementation stage, and finally the maturity stage. In the context of public policy, the term policy cycle refers to the sequence of activities involved in the development, formulation, adoption, implementation, and evaluation of public policies. Ladies and gentlemen, in the light of the findings from the extant literature review and in consideration of the study's underlying context, the subsequent research framework has been formulated. The Indonesian Financial Services Authority, OJK, has established sustainable finance as a priority policy to support the government's commitment to climate change and sustainable development. Moreover, the policy is articulated in the form of a roadmap and regulations. These policies and regulations are subsequently disseminated to financial service entities, specifically commercial banks. The aforementioned message is then received by banking institution through the medium of perception. This perception exerts a profound influence of one's attitude, which in turn affects one's actions. The manner in which commercial banks respond to the sustainable finance policy in terms of their perception, attitude, and action will be observed to determine its alignment with expectation. This material will be subject to evaluation and subsequent follow-up by the regulators. This research has 4 hypotheses and 1 non-hypothesis. First, increased perception or understanding is not followed by increased positive attitude. Second, increasing positive attitude are not followed by bank action regarding sustainable finance policy. Third, bank size classification moderates the positive influence perception on the implementation of sustainable finance policy on attitudes related to the implementation of sustainable finance policy. And fourth, bank size classification moderates the positive influence of attitudes toward implementation of sustainable finance policy on action related to implementation of sustainable finance policy. The last is objective does not have hypothesis because it is descriptive in nature regarding bank perception regarding the determining factors for bank success implementing sustainable finance policies, including aspect of incentive requested by bank. Ladies and gentlemen, the emphasis of applied research is on addressing practical concern in the domain of public policy, particularly during the nascent stages of policy implementation. The research data is composed of 2 categories, secondary data and primary data. Secondary data includes the Commercial Bank Sustainability Report 2019 to 2020, while primary data consists of survey of all commercial banks divided into those who return and provide complete data, 48% of population, and those who did not return the survey. The division of the sample is based on bank size, and then we conduct focus group discussion and in-depth interview with commercial banks and other sustainable finance stakeholders. The following analysis method were employed: 1 sample t-test, quantitative method, and structural equation model, partial least square, or SEM-PLS, qualitative method. The latter was used to analyze the influence of respondents' understanding of their attitudes, the influence of attitudes toward the bank action, and to determine whether bank business size consideration moderate understanding of attitude, as well as attitude toward bank action, implementation of sustainable finance policies. This analysis was conducted in consideration of small sample size. Therefore, NBFO is employed to ascertain bank perception concerning issues and to identify the factors that contribute to success banks in implementing policies, including the desired incentives. Ladies and gentlemen, the SEM-PLS model is employed to assess and evaluate the impact of perception, attitude, and action on the implementation of sustainable finance policy, modeled by bank categories for small-scale to large-scale commercial banks. The proposed model is illustrated in this page. In this study, we evaluate the relationship between constructs by examining collinearity and the coefficient of determination. We assess multi-collinearity among the independent variables in the model using variant inflation factor. The result indicated that VIF, values for the both of perception and attitude variable are less than 10, suggesting that the assumption of the multicollinearity in the SAM-PLS model is satisfied. The result for the SAM-PLS model fit are presented in table 4.1 as mentioned in our paper. Table 4.2, the following can be inferred regarding the implementation of sustainable finance policy in Indonesia. First, with an estimation coefficient of 0.497 and p-value of 0.001, which is less than 0.05, perception has a positive and significant effect on attitude. It means hypothesis number 1 is accepted. With an estimated coefficient of 0.367 and p-value of 0.053, which is less than 0.10, attitude has positive and significant effect on action. It means hypothesis number 2 is accepted. Third, with estimated coefficient of negative 0.022 and p-value of 0.442, which is greater than 0.05, bank size moderate negatively, although not significantly. The relationship between perception and attitude regarding implementation on attitude, hypothesis number 3 rejected. Related to the implementation of sustainable finance policy, and with estimated coefficient of 0.085 and p-value of 0.386, which is greater than 0.05, it can be concluded that bank size moderate positively, although not significantly. The relation between attitude and action-related implementation of the sustainable policy, it means hypothesis number 4 is rejected. The result of NV4 data processing indicated the role of the support of bank's top management is perceived as the determining factor for the success of bank in implementation sustainable finance policy. It's in line with Edward III placed great emphasis on attention and support from decision makers or top management in the implementation phases regarding vision, mission, strategy, and resource allocation. The second and the third biggest factor are improving the quality of human resources and regulatory support such as non-performing loan and risk-weighted asset easing to support portfolio improvement. Ladies and gentlemen, this is some result from how bank respond the policy, the sustainable finance policy. Good perception of positive attitude result in positive action. This is shown in the table of 4.5, where all banks group, both large and some small scale banks, have submitted sustainable report to OJK at the time the regulation was issued. In fact, table 4.6 shows that the large scale bank have 100% submitted to the report, while small scale banks show an increasing in the level of report submission from years to years. This shows that banks have no difficulty to implement sustainable finance policy. This is also related to the bank's human resources quality improvement program and support of the bank's leaders. In fact, that large-scale commercial banks have tried to make the sustainability report they submit to OJK also comply with international standards such as GRI, SISB, and SUSPA. This shows that banks' vision to attract global investors. Ladies and gentlemen, the final part of this research, we conduct qualitative analysis of the OJK model approach to implementing sustainable finance policy. Since the inception of the policy formulation, OJK has employed a dualistic approach, integrating elements of both of top-down and bottom-up strategy. The formulation of policies and regulation invariably solicits the perspective of the financial services industry, comprising banking institution, concurrently with the OJK communication of policy direction. As a consequently, when sustainable finance policy and regulation are issued, the financial services industry demonstrates not resistance. Additionally, the OJK caters to the financial service industry by offering capacity building programs. The initiation of the 8 largest commercial banks as a primary actors in the process indicative of a bottom-up policy, underscoring the pivotal role of top bank management support in this endeavor. Ladies and gentlemen, as the conclusion, the following 4 conclusions are derived from the study. Firstly, the result of the data processing from the surveys, FGDs, and in-depth interview with banks provided information that the comprehension of sustainable finance policy has been demonstrated to exert a favorable influence of individual attitude toward their implementation. Consequently, this optimistic outlook fostering action that align with the regulation expectation. Secondly, the gradual implementation policy with bank size as a consideration has proven to be ineffective in moderating the influence of understanding on attitudes and the effect attitudes on bank action. Thirdly, the bank identified top management support as primary factor influencing the effective implementation of sustainable finance policies. The subsequent factor to be considered is the quality of human resources within the banking sector and regulatory support provided. Therefore, the incentive anticipated by financial institutions are prioritized in the form of program designed to enhance human resources within the bank sector, facilitate both internal and external socialization, and implement a more relaxed credit policy, particularly with regard to non-performing loans and risk-weighted assets. Finally, the sustainable finance policy enacted by the Financial Services Authority, OJK, constitutes a solution to pressing need for climate change funding and achievement the sustainable development goals. The policy is medium and long-term in nature, necessitating that implementation of a staged approach to guide the industry, it's mean top-down. The OJK is undertaking preparation measures to ensure the readiness bank, including the active input of the financial service industry policy dialogue, it means bottom-up. Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude this seminar, we extend our gratitude to all participants for their attention. It is our hopes that this research will serve as a valuable reference, particularly for policymakers in the development of effective implementation strategies. It is imperative that this research be continued, particularly in order to ascertain a long-term ramification of the implementation of this policy. This concludes the presentation. Thank you very much.